if something is truly amazing and done right, it's timeless. And you shouldn't force that art for people to like it. Because when I did that photo, and I did initially put it out, I got little to no feedback about it.
Hey everyone, welcome to Focal Point. I'm Reuben, the visual ninja, and today we have an amazing photographer by the name of Wade Rhoden. Welcome, boss.
Nice to be here, Jake.
Bless up. How did you get started in photography?
I would say I kind of owe it to like my parents, mostly my mom though, because I used to draw a whole lot, you know, from a lot of comics, and she started me out like everything that I did, she would like frame it.
Yeah.
So it's like she helped me to see like my work, you know, in frames from an early age, and I realized that, you know, like I really wanted to be an artist, because, you know, seeing things behind the frame just on the paper is one thing, but once it's framed, and, you know, it just gives you a different perspective on the work, a different kind of appreciation. Yeah, for sure. And seeing that, I just continued drawing.
Yeah.
And then, what else? I guess traveling back from like, because the way I lived early on in my childhood was like I was in between Kingston and Manchester a whole heap. So I got to see kind of like the different textures of like the different places. Kingston was a bit harsh and crude, but there was still like there's some form of beauty there. And then, you know, going back to Manchester in the summers, it was just more calm, more relaxing, and, you know, more pastel colors. So it's like I got to see like the two different spectrums. I like life, you know, and I don't know, that kind of pushed me more to like be an artist in some way. Went to Edna for a little, well, not for a little, 4 years. I was a graphic design major, but, you know, being in that atmosphere for so long and being amongst like painters, you know, like I think my perspective kind of changed right in my final year. So instead of like doing that typical graphic design final year show where you have to like, you know, market a product and everything, I did like a whole gallery exhibition based around like cause and effect of poverty. And a part of the whole research of that was like going downtown and getting like candid shots of like people hustling, you know, like the higglers, the vendors, those kind of people. And it wasn't until like after the whole exhibition was finished, because I did 2 rounds with that exhibition. I did one at Edna, and then it was so well received. I did another, that same exhibition at the Hilton.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and everything fell off. And it's like after that whole rigmarole, I went back and I looked at the candid shots from downtown, and in my opinion, they were awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I was not taking into consideration like the rudiments of photography, like light and all of that and stuff. I was just doing my own thing. And I look back and I was just like, yo, these pictures, like, them full of so much emotion. And I wasn't even like, I think I might have a knack for it. So after working 2 years at the gallery, big shout out to the National Gallery, because I did a lot of photography with them.
Yeah.
You know, and some of it like went into like the catalogs that I did. I don't know, after that 2 years, there was also an Edward Lucy Smith exhibition that I helped to curate, you know, because I did the, as I said, I did the catalog. And like seeing Edward Lucy Smith's work, you know, just like a whole show dedicated to a photographer, I was like, damn. You know, and like seeing his pieces like blown up and all framed, and, you know, because I got to see them when they were just prints.
Yeah.
But as I said, once it goes into a frame, it's just like, it just changed the whole aesthetic about the work. And working there for 2 years at the National Gallery and seeing that and being exposed to Barrington Watson's work, I just say, you know what?
He's an amazing artist.
Yeah, for sure. And I got to meet him. It's just like being exposed to all of that. You know, I just had to become an artist. So, yeah.
You worked at the National Gallery, you spent some time in Manly, and then you moved on and you were working on a cruise ship. Tell me about that aspect of your life.
On a cruise ship? Why did you bring that up? All right. I can tell you that aspect of my life, like other than like seeing the whole world, like, and I mean the world, everywhere. It showed me the business of photography. Like when you are target oriented, when there's like a figure in mind, when you have to take sales into consideration, and just the whole rigmarole of the business side, like it really opened my mind to that. You know, like photography can make a lot of money. You know what I mean? So once like there's like logistics involved and there's a plan and it is well executed and you know your target market and you know who you're going for and you have confidence in your work first and foremost. You know, that is exactly what the cruise ship did for me. It showed me the fundamental business part of the photography thing. Yeah, because it's very crucial. A lot of photographers, they really don't understand that part and how serious it is. It's all about click, click, click. You know, it's, you know, you have to like, logistically, you have to know what you're doing. Because right now, that whole hard work thing, it done. It done is working smart. Yeah, because people can do less work and you over there doing a bag of work and that person bust past you, gonna do interviews there Hollywood just because that person worked smart. Yeah, hard work, nah, cut it again. It does, but
I think a balance is needed.
Not even a balance, dude. It's just like hard work is like 30% now. Yeah, late it is. You know, and like working smart and like being mindful and like just, you know what you're doing is like 70%, bro.
All right, so taking into consideration, the cruise ship taught you the business side of it.
Yeah.
Edna Manley and working at the gallery and all this stuff taught you the creative side of it.
Yeah.
How did those two aspects come together and form who you are now?
Yeah, that was some deep question that one, yo. Like, all right, how did all of those things? All right, see, for me, when I just started doing photography, when I just left the gallery, like, I don't think I knew my worth at the time. Not like worth as a person. I knew my worth as a person, but my worth as a photographer. And like what each of my photos valued. I didn't know that. And I think that was like probably the most difficult thing to like understand at the time, because I was just like, yo, I'm doing so much work, but the returns are so little, and I was just like, what is going wrong? And I didn't even look at it from a standpoint that, yo, you know, every year that passes, dude, you're getting better. Yeah. So your prices should increase. And it's like going on the ship now and like seeing where like, all right, well, certain set of people, like certain crew, like a certain cruise, right? People would like flock to a package. Yeah. And they'd be like, this package is a hit. Let's up the price. Yeah. I wasn't thinking like that. So after that couple of years, after that year or two doing that, I came back and I was like, yeah, you know, that every year, like after, like add value to what I'm doing. And like, after I started doing that, like, you know, I mean it for like 5 years now. It's just like, I made it routine to like, every year, I reassess my prices, my packages, what I'm worth, photography wise, and I'd be like, all right, I think it's time, like I've improved enough over the past years to like, you know, up something, you know what I'm saying? And since I started doing that, like things have changed drastically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Wade,
yeah.
So looking at your work, I can definitely see that it's different from what's already out there. Can you describe what makes it so unique from everyone else's?
All right, let's break that down. All right, first I'm going to tell you like all of the people that, you know, I look up to.
Yeah.
Starting with like the masters, it'd be like Richard Avedon.
The masters.
Yes, Irving Penn. You know, like local people like Barrington Watson. A little bit of Cecil Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worry, but you know what I say, I have Raymond Watson. He's that's Barrington Watson's son. Yeah. He taught me. Miss Wheeler for sure. Who else? Miss Daly. Like all of those people taught me the whole less is more concept. And it took me like years to figure that out. Like, you know, that rule of like less is more. How to oversimplify till the point it becomes so complicated. Yeah, so complex and so complicated. And that is something I've always strived to have in my work, where it's like I just oversimplify till there's just so much depth. And it's such a weird thing. But yeah, my style is morely from like that perspective where I try to pack so much into like so much information, not information but feeling and emotion into silhouettes. That's what I try to do all the while. How can I isolate a subject and just pack that subject on that muted background with so much emotion and depth, whether it be through a facial expression, whether it be through a pose, something, but it just has to be like so simple that when you look at it, you get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely see that in your work.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your biggest accomplishments thus far.
What would that be though? I would say one, it's actually like living as an artist.
Yeah.
For me, it's not really like one of my main points, but I just have to put that out here, like just, you know, living as an artist where like you're being paid to be creative 24/7. I think that's a personal accomplishment for me. But more on like a general note, I would say, I don't want to be too conceited, but I feel like I've kind of upped the bar a little bit where photography is concerned in Jamaica.
Yeah.
To like, you know, I've heightened people's expectations of like what is possible, what can be created, what can be achieved by photogs out here.
Yeah.
Because in my personal opinion, I think we've been lacking a little, you know, and it's because like we've not taken certain things into consideration, you know, like we don't take the time out. It's like this whole photography thing, I think a lot of people want to do it because they want this whole thing of instant gratification. Where it's just like, boom, you take the picture and you look at the back of the camera, it's like, oh, it's beautiful, and you go home, go smooth out the skin till it look like plastic, and then you just dash it out there and get some likes. No, it's just, you know, when you take the time out and you set up your set and you make sure that the sun is like perfect and you have the right makeup artist and you have the right stylist, and it's more of like a team thing and it's not centered around like, oh, the photographer shows up and like you shoot. No, it all depends on like the dedication that the makeup artist put in, the stylist, the designer itself, because you know crap clothes can't help crap clothes, you know. So it's just like having a team there and like showing other photographers that, you know, it's just, you don't piggyback on the camera only. You know, you have like talented people who you need to have beside you in order to like constantly create that magic. What else? I don't know. It's just, you know, like photography, like doing this kind of photography where it's like I'm not like doing events and all of that. Like I'm geared to doing like just what I want, and I feel like, you know, that is like my biggest accomplishment, like being able to just do like a set thing and just like make a living off of it, rather than be like, oh, shooting this and I have to be shooting that, you know, in order to like sustain myself. No, I think it's really cool that somebody out here can just make money off high-end portraits. That's cool, because I think like the market out here needs to be developed.
Recently, the National Gallery added some of your pieces to their collection.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Big shout out to O'Neil Lawrence. He was really the person that, like, I think that image that was, well, it's two, actually it's three. It's three. But that main image that really started the snowball effect was O'Neil Lawrence's eye. You know, he was doing this masculinity gallery exhibition thing, and I don't know, he saw that one piece, and at the time that piece is like, it's almost like 4 years old, you know, before it was, you know, taken up by the National Gallery. And during the time I was just starting to like mess around with that less is more kind of thing. Yeah. You know, like just isolating subjects, and that was the first time I tried like multiple subjects. Yeah. And you know, and it made me realize something about art, where if something is truly amazing and done right, it's timeless, and you shouldn't force that art for people to like it. Because when I did that photo and I did initially put it out, I got little to no feedback about it. Like, it just didn't, nobody inside. It was just like, why is this dude shooting like these guys in briefs running up the stairs?
It has a lot to do with the fact that it was just totally different from
yeah, you know, and like there was no response to it. So I took it down, I took it down everywhere, you know, because for some strange reason that photograph, you know, it was really close to me. And then, I don't know, O'Neal Lawrence was having this exhibition, and I guess he saw the piece when I originally put it out, and he really liked that one specific photograph. And, you know, he just called me up and he was just like, dude, we're going to print that big. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, we're going to print it big. And I was just like, sure. And dude, like going into that space and like seeing it for the first time, because I wasn't always like a fan of like printing my work, you know, something that I need to get over. But, you know, like seeing it that big, it was something profound, you know. But the weird thing about it though, this photograph was like taken like probably like 4 years before this exhibition. Originally I had put it out, but due to my demographic, like the response to the photo was not necessarily, you know.
It was too different for the time.
Yeah, it was too different for the time, and I don't think like photographers at the time were like doing a lot of research where males were considered. And it's weird, you know, like I really had like this fashion oriented idea on the forefront, but in my subconscious, the whole idea behind that photograph and that series was that, you know, black men constantly had to like work hard to almost like double prove themselves. Yeah, definitely. You know, while I won't say other races, but you know, the difficulty of blacks, you know, getting to be something and doing something with them life is almost like they have to work double hard. And it's something that I see out here, you know, given our exchange rates. You know, I say it's just like, we're treated just like how they treat our dollar. You know, it's like we have to like work double hard just to match up to them, you know, 1-to-1. So that was the initial thought behind those photographs. But it was very stylized, you know, guys in white briefs and them chisel out and them run up and everything just look pleasing to the eye for the woman. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So, you know, like there was that fancy side to it, but there was also this subconscious concept underneath, and O'Neal Lawrence got it. Yeah. Like he saw the photograph and he was just like, this says so much. And like when I went to the initial meeting and I hear him talking about the photograph, I was like, I had none of that in mind when I was doing that photograph, but yeah. It's like gradually I saw it and I realized just how timeless that photograph was, and for it to be, you know, inducted into the national collection, it just cements the whole idea that, you know, like it's a really good photograph. And then it started this whole ripple effect. I did a model study of Jamal Barnett from Goddard Models in Barbados. And I did this piece where he was like looking off into the horizon and his back was turned, and we cleverly censored the image by coating his back with like sand, you know, getting him into the water and then sprinkling the sand over him. And during that whole exhibition with O'Neal Lawrence and going through some of the inspirations for his exhibition, and you know, he showed me like this really old image, like probably like, I don't know how camera did near Jamaica them time. And there was like 2 dudes with like sacks and, you know, them have them pouch and them African thing, spear, you know, right? And like the vibe that I was getting from that old picture, like when I looked on that study I did with Jamal, it was just like the same vibe, you know what I say, but more stylized, I guess, you know. And what else? There was another shot of, I did from the same Running Up the Stairs series, there was another shot that they took from Leo. His name is Leo, the model's name is Leo. That also got inducted. It's probably like one of the weaker photographs, but yeah, it was really profound, you know, to actually like be a part of the national collection with like people like, as I said, like Barrington Watson, you know, and like Edna Manley, you know. So for me, that was just like, it was a turning point. Like, it was a turning point, and it's like I was seen more now as an artist, than just like a photographer. And that is one of that was like one of my main pet peeves as like a dude that works with the camera. Is I don't really like to be called a photographer. I really don't. Because photography is like a box. Like that is just like photography is just like, I think a more expressive term would be like an artist.
Yeah.
That I just so happen to use that as my main, tool. But
you're more than just.
Yeah, because sometimes like these photographs, they look almost like paintings. Like all of the hardware that goes in and set design and all that, when it comes out, it transcends a photograph. It's no longer like a picture. There's just like so much in there. So I think like it would be really wrong to just call it a photograph. It's really just it's like a painting. I don't know if any of that makes any sense, but like it really does. Like sometimes you look at this, like some of the work that you produce, you be like, no, this is not like just a photo anymore.
Especially when you print it.
Yeah, especially when you print it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was like a really big turning point for me.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
The industry.
Yeah.
How do you find the local fashion industry, and do you see yourself as a big part of it?
Dude, and I'm going to be like completely honest with you right now. I don't think that I am. And it's not something I try to wrap my head around anymore. Like, honestly, like I do work on occasions with some of these agencies, but I've been surviving completely without any real involvement with the fashion culture that is out here, because we don't have an industry.
Okay.
I don't want anybody even think that there's not a fashion industry out here, and we need to realize that and stop creating this facade like there is, because we are not putting anything in terms of infrastructure, in terms of like long-term thinking. There's none of that here in terms like for fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like our designers, for one, they don't have any benefits. Like clothing designers, they don't have anything that allows them to like shop for fabric that doesn't exist out here and get them in at cheaper rates. Because for me, like I look at life as like ripple effects. If there's something going wrong over here, chances are some waves going to come over here and just bounce my little boat and like mess up everything. And that is exactly what is going on. These designers out here, they're suffering because they don't have any benefits. There is nothing in place for them to like cushion them from like the pressures that we're going through economically. So the lack of fabric, just a lack of efficiency, seamstress, there is not really much talented seamstresses out here. So when you have no clothes, what am I to shoot?
But Wade, as a fashion photographer, how can you and also us as other photographers help to fix this problem?
I think what's lacking out here is we don't have like a union.
Yeah.
If we had a union, it would be so easy, because we could implement rules and like certain things like at the flick of a wrist, But and I realized that there are subgroups out here, as for like the photographers out here that tend to click up, because you have like different kind of photographers, you have the more earthy, more rootsy kind of guys, and they tend to like go over there. And then you have like the wedding guys,
and they're over there.
And
yeah, the event guys, and they're over there.
And I'm just like in a corner by myself. You're kind of in a corner by yourself, but you're also part of like the rootsy people too. You get me? I think we need to like understand why we do that, because we need comfort zones. I understand, we all need that. But I think for the benefit of photography, or if you might have a son or a daughter who wants to come on, like I think we need to set like certain ground rules together, like in regards to pricing and all of that kind of stuff, to like help to legitimize what we're doing. Because I don't think corporate Jamaica kind of like looks at photography, like young people, as like as a legitimate business. I say you have to be like after a while, and you get gray up, and that is when they choose to look at you and be like, you know, cool. Or if you're overseas or something.
Yeah.
But there's just this lack of like appreciation for like young photogs out here, you know. And I see Nike do it all the while. Like Nike uses like, there's no age limit. You get me?
Yeah.
There's no age limit to like the photogs that Nike uses. Sometimes they use like some 15-year-olds, they use like 21-year-olds, and like out here, like if they're going to spend some serious money on some big bucks, you know, in terms of photography, they're probably going to go to the guys or somebody overseas. You know, I ain't knocking them, but you know, you can like help to make it like a more even playing field, and I think we need to take that first step.
Yeah.
You know, and like know what we're doing and move together as a group, so that if somebody calls and be like, hey, I need to get this job done, shoot, and they call Jig is going to say, all right, well, taking into consideration everything, this is the cost.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, okay, that's kind of too much. So they call me. I'll be like, and I give them the same cost. So it's like, and if they do that with 3-5 different people, they realize, it's a standard now.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, I can't really go around this price thing, you know? And like, we need to stop, like, photogs out there, they need to know their worth. They need to know how much like an hour of the time is valued, you know, and they need to look at the content that they're creating, because if the content isn't important, these people would not be coming to you.
Exactly.
They need your photos. You know, when I said like it is like a complete, it's a marketing tool. You get me? Yeah, I think, you know, we need like unity, where like all of us as photogs, you know, we need like standards and like, definitely. Yeah, and I think that would like fix things somewhat. You get me? Because we have to recondition the minds of our clients, because right now I think the mind of our clients, it's not really in a productive place right now. Like, you need to like change how your clients value you.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, that's a wrap, guys. Thank you for watching this episode of Focal Point, and I'll see you next time.